don't love it. You know who loves it? Me.
Right.
Who drinks it at fucking 8 a.m. on a plane.
Yeah.
You want to hear a cool fucking moment? I was in Connecticut. I was doing the fucking, I'm sure it was Hartford Funny Bone.
Yeah, what else could it be?
Yeah. Man, I thought that town would be different when I first heard of it. And then I went there.
Yeah, I was like, I know when I first went there, they were like, oh, this is where Mark Twain grew up. I was like, not recently. I mean, this Mark Twain, I don't think he would have decided to grow up here.
He ran to the closest river. I was like, get me the fuck
out of here, dude. I was like, oh, yeah. I've never seen, like a historical American's house like that, just right next to a check cashing place.
And he's like, you want to go to the bar after this? I was like, fuck yeah.
Nice.
So me and him go up to the bar, and he's like, there's a wedding here. I was like, yeah. He's like, you want to crash it? I was like, you think we can? He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you're on TV. I'm the lead singer of Smash Mouth. I'm pretty sure we can.
Yeah.
So some of the guys came over, and we crashed the wedding. We were in our pajamas.
Yeah.
And we partied until like fucking 4 a.m. with this wedding. Fucking rolled straight from the airport out of this wedding. And that night, some girl pulled me aside and goes, have you heard of Instagram? And I said, no. She said, you need to be on Instagram. And I signed up for Instagram that night.
Wow.
And yeah, and my first picture on Instagram was me and him at a wedding.
Really? In Hartford?
In Hartford. It was me and him.
Yeah, you guys were the only white people there.
It's like with the vaccines, like Joe's the first person being like, don't get vaccinated. Now, I kind of wish I hadn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I got like doctors. I have a couple of friends who are doctors who are like, we're very like vaccine guys, very serious about health. It's not even with a Republican, Democrat. Yeah. They're in the middle. They're like, hell, two guys have been like, do not get any more boosters. If they come out and start mandating that stuff, do not get it. The only problems we see with young people are heart-related issues from too many boosters.
Oh,
that's
dude.
all. He's like, so, and he's, again, not a guy. He's not a conspiracy guy. No, he's a regular guy, doesn't listen to podcasts. He's like, I'm just a doctor. I'm telling you, I see people coming in with heart defects that were relatively healthy. The only thing that they have in common is 3 or 4 boosters.
You're gonna die one day. You can't stop that.
You cannot stop that. And the thing is with you is I just worry if you just stop things cold turkey, that's when your body turns around and goes, what? Ay, Dios mío.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
My body has such a, it's crazy. I stopped drinking for 5 days and I lost like 14 pounds in 5 days.
That's pretty fucking nuts. That's pretty.
I've got a full body scan where you do the lungs and all the organs and you go and like they found a lump on my kidney and I was like, and I was freaked out. And they're like, oh, it's I think you've had it your whole life. It's been there. We've noticed it before. But
they're like, it's a bottle cap.
Yeah. but they're like, how fast do you drink?
I don't know, man. Birdie Boy's a different speed.
Like, what's your thing? Like, what's the thing that's gonna put you in the grave early?
Cake, I would say. Sweets.
Rachel's Instagram is salami body, and I sat with my daughters trying to figure out how you got salami body.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, that would be the great Instagram name for you, salami body. Rachel, no, you're very proportionate. And I would always say, like, you look like a kind of guy who's enjoying the experience. That's what I would describe your weight as. He's enjoying the experience.
I love.
And I was like, oh shit. And then I held that and didn't tell anybody even about that. And then when we were on the plane coming home, I was like, what's wrong? Like,
I need a seatbelt extender.
What's going on? I was like, Andrew said I look like a fat Howard Stern and he's right. And she was like, Chris, yeah. I was like, did I put on weight? I was like, you need to like be honest with me. She's like, yes, but you still look like a guy and like you're a man and like who cares about that? And I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what?
Wait, that really is you.
That is me. I was like, I do.
You do look like
no, it was an excellent call by Santino.
Dude, it's amazing how.
But then I changed.
Measure my buzz or measure my boredom with alcohol. I can go like, here's a cocktail and then I'm good. I'm good. That's where I've really honestly, and I remember when I first started doing it and I was like, I bet you're going to die from the alcohol before you do a plane. So I was like,
yeah.
Because I think
statistically would say yes, higher chance. Here's a solution. When you're exercising, I feel like you're also addicted to exercising. When you exercise, you go, what about flying private? It's beautiful to have that option. Why don't you exercise on the plane? When you want to drink,
if I fly private, I don't have to drink.
Oh, you only have to drink on commercial.
When I'm on there's something about not being in control.
But you're not in control in the private.
Yeah, I am. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
You can get behind those gears.
I can take a little vape hit pen.
Yeah.
I can take a little... I can go walk up front. Hey, how's it looking, boys? Nice,
right.
Nice.
Okay, so that's what it is.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
I'm not going to I can't... Yes, we're all one. We're all connected. I believe in that. But it's like, I'm not going to let some edited version of what some Ukrainian general said scare me anymore, because I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. Maybe we didn't land on the moon. I have no idea anymore.
I have no idea.
I really...
Doesn't affect my life that much if we didn't.
Yeah, I really genuinely don't care anymore. My main goal is to get this 2-year-old potty trained, because she's shitting on the floor now on a weekly basis.
Briefs?
Boxer briefs. I'm not a tidy whitey guy. I like...
Yeah, but that's because you're from New York, and that when you take a girl home and lay her in bed, that's your look.
Right.
Like in Florida, you lay a girl in bed and your pants come off and it's like, I'm already naked.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think too, I went to an all-boy Catholic high school, and it was
me too.
See, it was one of those things where, like, when I was on playing basketball, it's like, you would get in the shower and I would be like, I'd get in the shower with my bathing suit on, and then like, yeah, it's weird. And then
wait, for real?
Yeah. And then it was like that reverse psychology where, like, some senior would be like, what are you bathing suit on? What are you, gay?
Yeah.
What are you fucking gay? Let me see your dick.
Yeah, that's
be in the bathing suit.
No. When you came in a bathing suit.
That's gayer.
By the way, I would have loved to have been able to wear a bathing suit when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
I was so terrified getting naked in front of other boys.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm sorry, keep their names in because they're 2 solid dudes. 3, Tom Young, Truett Gardner, and Thompson Rankins were in 9th grade, and I was in 8th grade.
Okay.
And I was leaving Berkeley Prep, and I was going to Jesuit the next year, and we all played football together. And they're like, yo, we're going to take a shower afterwards. And I was like, oh, cool. And talk about like well-rounded dudes, right?
Okay.
They're a year older than me, and they're like, hey, man, you want to take a shower? And I was like, I'm good. And they're like, hey, it's okay if you're nervous getting like naked around us. You can wear boxers. And I went, what? And they're like, yeah, man, wear boxers. Don't worry about it. Like, we understand. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, are you guys wearing boxers? And they're like, well, no, we're not really uncomfortable, so we'll be naked, but we can wear boxers if you want us to. I was like, no, but I'll wear boxers. And they're like, cool. So I took a shower in boxers. I'm in 8th grade. I was like, that was cool. You said, we talked about it, and you said, does it ever get better? And I said, no, it actually gets worse.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how you're dealing with, because you're still touring.
Yep.
You're still just as successful.
Yeah.
You're working probably the same amount. Like, how are you dealing with it?
So I have made a decision now to just be where my feet are. I used to have half my brain at home, half my brain on the road, and that was not doing well for them, and it was not doing well for me. So now I've just made a decision. If I'm here, I'm here. And then when I'm home, I'm home.
That's a really... Do you read that in a book or something? Be where my feet are. That's a fucking great statement. And I said to my wife, I was 5 days, my first 5 days off. On the 5th day, I said to her, I lost it. I'm out of comedy. Like I'm disconnected from comedy. I don't feel like I do it anymore.
You
5 days in.
Holy shit.
5 days into, and she said to me, I said, I don't even feel like does anyone even remember me? Like, I mean, like, I feel like
you were being serious.
I was being dead serious.
Yeah.
I was depressed and I was in bed. Now, granted, I also hadn't drank in 5 days. So there's probably a lot of things going through my head. And she said to me, you just 6 days ago, you were in Montreal and you won Comedian of the Year. You just won Comedian of the Year. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but that was 6 days ago.
Right.
And she was like, you're being serious. I go, I'm being dead fucking serious.
Right.
What am I doing this year? Easily top 5 hangs, top 2 hangs in comedy you're gonna get. And I was like, and Shane was with him, and I was like, fuck, I wish I'd texted Shane. He was with Aziz Ansari. Like, what did Shane and Aziz talk about? Because I know Chappelle liked both of them. They both got canceled. What the fuck? Like, and so I just saw that today. And I was like, I want to get back into comedy. But then once you're in comedy, my anxiety disappears.
Right.
I'm just on the tour bus.
Interesting. So when you have all those things, when you're saying, I got to move tickets around, I got to do this, there's not a part of your brain that's like, why do I want to like live in that pressure all the time? You look at it the opposite way and say, this is what actually gives me life.
I like being inspired by people that take like big change, like they go, I'm going to change some stuff around.
Yeah, I don't have any rules with me where I am all this at this time and I am all this at that time. It's like even somebody, listen, if you got to get sober, I'm not you, I'm saying in general, somebody's got to get sober and they can't touch the alcohol for 30 years for the rest of their life because they know what it does to them. Good for you. That's a strict rule. Good for you.
Yeah.
For me, I don't have that problem with alcohol. So it's like, if I don't drink for 3 months, I'm not saying like I can break it right now and have a cocktail and it's like, I'll be fine because I don't want to. I think if you're so strict with yourself and so rigid, eventually something's going to fucking snap.